bicycle.
And we're back with Neil Peart. Much to be discussed, so little time. Back to the lines. Give your self a shot out of here. Brent? Is it Brent? Yeah, in Toronto, live on live. Go ahead, Brent.
Hi, how are you doing? Hi, Neil.
Hi, Brent.
I'm a huge fan from a very long time ago of yours.
Right.
I just wanted to ask you one thing. Our group that we're in, I've been playing with my brother in the band for 16 years and another member for however many years. We've just introduced a fourth member in the last year. And I'm also a drummer and a lyricist. And the problem I have with the whole royalty structure, et cetera, and keeping everyone together for such a long period of time is how to divvy up who gets what credit for what, especially when you're writing in a group environment where the original idea often doesn't come out at all.
Your question is how to divvy up?
Yeah, it's a simple answer. There are only two choices, really. You can fight about it, or you can just divvy it up equally. If you say you're in the room and everybody's working on it, then divide it in 4 parts.
It almost sounds like a scene out of Spinal Tap, arguing before you've actually got a contract or anything. The band's not even solid yet.
Split the pennies.
Yeah, exactly. Spinal Tap, by the way, we checked on the internet, are looking for another drummer.
Always.
Yeah, exactly.
Every night.
Yeah, they blowed one up real good, or he choked on his own well, it wasn't his own vomit, but...
They're not sure.
Yeah, exactly. It's part of the lexicon now, I think, of rock music. But Burning for Buddy Volumes 1 and 2... who were some of the names that you couldn't get a hold of? You dearly would have loved to have seen them.
Yeah, there were just a certain number of people that really wanted to do it, but happened not to be available on tour. One of them was Louis Belson, who was a great drummer and a contemporary of Buddy's, and another guy who really loved the man. And there were other guys, Vinny Colaiuta, who plays for Sting, had done one of the scholarship concerts in the past and just played gorgeously with the band, and I really wanted him, but he was touring with Sting in Europe at the time. Phil Collins was another one that has the background. He played in his own jazz group, Brand X, for many years alongside Genesis. Sure. And I knew he could do it, and I thought he might want to, and sure enough he did. And he sent me a very nice apologetic fax that he wasn't able to, and sent me his itinerary, and I think he was in Mexico City on his way to Venezuela that day or something. We only had 2 weeks to do the whole project.
That short window.
All of this music has come from those 2 weeks.
Is it just my imagination, or are some of the great drummers in North America to be found on late-night talk shows? You know, in the bands of Leno, Letterman, Conan O'Brien?
Well, it takes a great guy to do those jobs. Ed Shaughnessy, who appeared on Volume 1 and ours, he was Johnny Carson's drummer for all those years, and he would tell me, look, 1 minute I'd be playing for Johnny Cash, next minute I'd be playing for James Brown. And that was the kind of versatility that they would have to have. So he was playing with Doc Severance's big band, and the next minute he'd be backing up James Brown.
And Brent mentioned something interesting, too, when, say, you're like a Don Henley, Levon Helm, singing while you're drumming. How difficult is that?
They tend, you'll notice in all those cases, they tend to hire another drummer behind them after a while because it becomes a conflict, and also showbiz-wise, there's no front man. So in all those cases, Don Henley went on his own, had another drummer behind him. Phil Collins is perhaps the most passionate drummer among those type of artists, and he splits it, but he has another drummer doing a lot of it so he can be out front and so he can concentrate on the singing. It's hard energy-wise, you know, just have enough wind to do both. It takes a human body full of energy just to be a singer or just to be a drummer. So trying to do both at once is going to be a compromise. And most of those guys have gradually given up the drumming job.
Yeah.
I'd give up the singing.
Wow.
I did.
You did? Well, all right. And, of course, Geddy's inimitable vocal stylings, also a part of, you know, what makes Rush a magical act. You're presently on the tour, as you mentioned. I guess it's July 2nd or June 2nd that you...
I think we're here June 30th and July 2nd in Toronto.
In Toronto, and other dates across Canada quickly?
Yeah, we're all United States, and then we're doing in 6 Canadian dates, I guess, in there from Vancouver, Quebec City, Ottawa, Montreal, and the 2 Toronto shows. And
look for the book as well. Let me remind folks, The Masked Rider, Cycling in West Africa, Pottersfield Press, and, of course, Burning for Buddy Volumes 1 and 2. What a pleasure. So enlightening. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Enjoy it.
All right. I'm sorry for those we disappointed. When we come back, maybe you can speak to the issue of a young man who can't get a babysitting gig. He feels it's discrimination. He's in the hot seat next. Stay with us live on Life. Yeah, we're all over the map.